Welcome back for another video. It's been a bizarre week, but FPL is back. In this video we'll look at the top players for predicted points in Gameweek 8 and over the next 5 game weeks to make your transfer plans and captaincy easier. Predicted points are courtesy of FPL Review. If you want to up your game this season and improve your rank, hit subscribe. Let's jump in and start with the goalkeepers, and this weekend Pope and Ederson are tied at the top of the projections with 4.2 predicted points. Newcastle are home to Bournemouth, who have of course started the season with tough fixtures. Nonetheless, they're by far the worst in the league for expected goals on 2.53. Next lowest is Aston Villa, who are still just over double that. Man City are away against another side who have struggled for goals. Wolves have scored 3 goals, which is the joint fewest, and it's a week where the Man City double up in defence looks strong. If you're on a free hit, you definitely get one of Pope or Ederson in goal. It's the last reasonable fixture for Arsenal for a while, away to Brentford. Gameweek 9 and 10, Arsenal face Spurs and then Liverpool, followed by Leeds away and then Man City. Ramsdale has 3.6 predicted points this game week. His opposite keeper, Raya, misses out on the projections this week. Arsenal's Europa League fixture versus PSV was postponed, so the entire squad will be rested, while City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham and West Ham will all play. However, this early in the season, it is easy to overrate the impact of midweek games, and it can largely come down to the opposition. Certainly this week, Man City have a tough fixture against Dortmund, which we'll talk about shortly. Next up, the defenders, and it's largely dominated by the Newcastle Man City assets. Trippier is the one to highlight here, who's top among all defenders with 4.8 predicted points. Bournemouth have conceded 100 crosses down their left flank, which is twice as many as their right flank, and 25 more than any other team. It's a week to strongly consider the right back, not just for this game week, but the fixtures beyond that. Considering the fixtures, you could even double up with Pope or another defender such as Shaw or Target. Cancelo is second with 4.5 predicted points. We saw him impress in Man City's last Champions League game, playing in right back as opposed to left back where he's played in the league, and he picked up 2 assists. Perhaps a position where he performs better in, and we wait to find out if Walker's back from injury, as we could see Gomez or Ake in left back and Cancelo in right back. Diaz and Ake are the other 2 Man City players to make the list. Stones is ruled out, and we know that Laporte is back in training for Man City. They're still comfortably top of the league for expected goals conceded and no reason to dump them on a wildcard. Perhaps you could even double up. The other defenders are difficult to predict for minutes at the moment, so Ederson may be the best bet to complement Cancelo. Taking a look at the midfielders next, and it's no Salah this week with his away trip to Chelsea postponed. If you missed a video on the Gameweek 8 postponements, make sure you give that a watch too to catch up. It'll be on screen at the end. If you're looking for a Salah replacement, Son tops the midfielder projections this game week. Spurs are home to Leicester, who are one of 3 teams yet to keep a clean sheet this season, and Leicester are 3rd worst in the league for expected goals conceded. However, Son's drop-off has been curious. He was essential for the second half of last season, and of course went on to win the Golden Boot. But it's been a lacklustre opening 6 in terms of his output with just a single assist. Perhaps this is the week his fortunes change, or perhaps it's Canberra's fallacy and it's another blank. A reminder again that there are 5 teams playing midweek in European competition, so unless you're on a wildcard, hold your transfers. De Bruyne is second, another top Salah replacement to consider. Arguably him and Son are equal minutes risks right now, with Son coming off early in 4 of the last 5, and perhaps even Richarlison and Kulusevski get a start at some point either side of Kane. And De Bruyne is obviously prone to the odd rotation, as we saw a couple of game weeks back against Forest. Saka and Martinelli are 2 to consider on the wildcard despite challenging fixtures on the horizon, but be careful loading up on too many Arsenal players though, as there is a potential Gameweek 12 postponement with them and Man City. Bowen has come back into our thinking. He's in the same boat as Son really, where last season he was such a consistent stream of points, and then there was a big fall off in goal contributions this season. He scored a couple in the Europa Conference League, but no returns whatsoever in the league so far. However, when we look at West Ham's next 4, it's Everton, Wolves, Fulham and Southampton, so he's absolutely one to consider. Perhaps the only time this entire season we see Almiron on the projections as a consequence of the blanks. Certainly playable if you've got him, and perhaps one to pick up for the bench on a free here and bench him on the wildcard. Coutinho is also one to avoid. You feel like his minutes are still a huge doubt and he could get the odd bench in here and there. Leon Bailey misses out on the projections. He's had a few price drops now after frustrating in the early game weeks, but for 4.7 mil he's a strong bench option too, likewise Pereira. If you're not on a wildcard or a free hit this week, then these budget mids are absolutely fine to be playing in your team if required. Onto the forwards, and it's Kane topped this game with 6.6 points. So to recap, Son had 5.9, De Bruyne 5.2, so Kane is top of the projections for Gameweek 8. After Haaland, Kane is second among all players for expected goal involvement this season with 4.95 XGI, and certainly an option for captaincy. Let me know in the comments where you're leaning for captaincy this week. That said, Haaland is close in second with 6.2 projected points and likely to be the favourite. Again, we'll keep tabs on the Champions League and his minutes. It's a big game against his old club Dortmund at the Etihad. We've seen Haaland play the full 90 when chasing games or when they're looking for a winner, or likewise he's been subbed early when the game is won. Ideally, you'd want him to play 70 minutes max if he does start. Isak and Mitrovic could be the perfect two mid-price strikers to grab on the wildcard alongside Haaland, both on 5 predicted points this game week. A small sample size, but in Isak's 2 games played, he has an expected goal involvement every 116 minutes, which is among the best in the league, 5 shots taken, 4 of which were inside the box. Mitrovic's 117 minutes per expected goal involvement is also really impressive and practically on par with Isak, and he faces Forest this game week. Forest are worst in the league for expected goals conceded with 12. He should be firmly in your thinking if he's not ready. If we look at Isak and Mitrovic's projections over the next 5, you can make the case for selling Jesus. A scary proposition considering the ownership, but the projections are backing Mitrovic and Isak, plus they're at least 1 mil cheaper. Tony's the other striker worth some thought on the wildcard. Among forwards, only Haaland scored more points and goals, but again we're talking about 5 mil difference. It's a distant memory now, but Tony's last match was against Leeds in Gameweek 6 where he bagged a hat-trick for a 17-pointer. Watkins and Johnson are avoids this game week with better options at the same price points. Solanke narrowly misses out with 3.4 projected points this game week, but he's worth highlighting. He's only 5.7 mil and over the next 5 game weeks has 18.9 projected points, which beats several names listed here. That concludes this Game Week's Who to Buy video. Thanks for the great feedback on the last few videos as well, really appreciate it. If you would like to improve your rank this season, hit subscribe. Lots more content to come before the deadline, including my wildcard draft. The chip is active and I'll be sharing my team soon. See you soon for the next one.